Hey, what's going on, guys? Mr. Rogue here, and oh my god, we just got some big news. Sonic Superstars, or Orion, I don't really know what the official title of the game is, but I'm just gonna say Sonic Superstars because it was in the trailer. Sonic Superstars is a brand new 2D classic Sonic game that we're gonna be getting this fall. You heard me right, this fall. We don't even have to wait that long. We're already in summer. It is June. Fall, that's like what, August, September, October like area, maybe like November if you're like pushing it. But fall, we're getting this game this year in fall. Like, we're only a couple months away from it already, and it just got announced. And oh my god, there's so much to talk about with this game. But let's just look at the trailer. Right now, the trailer isn't too long, but it's not too short, right? It's 1 minute and 43 seconds. It's decently length, and we get a good glimpse at what this game is trying to be and what it's going to do and what we can expect from it when it comes out later this year. Obviously, here in the beginning, you have Sonic running around, and it looks like he's in Sonic 2 right here. That's what the art style kind of looks like. That's what the pixel art looks like. And then obviously there's a rift here that Sonic runs through, and then he goes from his like classic pixel art from the classic games, right, to a more modern look of classic Sonic. You know, a classic Sonic that you would see in like Sonic Generations or Sonic Forces. Now, it's not the exact same model. It is a different model, but you know, it's kind of like that modern version of classic Sonic, and his model looks really, really good. I mean, I'm just looking at this first frame here of his model, but just looking at this, it looks super good. And not even just his model, like on the right side of the screen here where you have like the more modern graphics separate from like the left side where it's more pixelated, the graphics here, like this is just the first shot that we get to see of the game, but it looks so good. It looks so modern. The colors are so bright, so saturated, so vibrant. It's like, it's so good. It feels so cheery. Like, I look at this and I get filled up with like joy, you know? Like, I just love like the colors and how they complement one another. It's incredible. And then soon after that shot, we get actual gameplay of the game, or at least I'm going to guess it's gameplay. This probably isn't like, you know, cutscene stuff like that. This is like actual gameplay of the game, and it looks really good. I mean, obviously I'm not playing, right? Like, I can't tell if it feels good to run with Sonic. I can't tell, you know, if jumping with him, just moving around with him in general feels good. But just looking at this trailer, Sonic looks good to control. He looks good to control. It looks like it's going to feel like when I'm playing the game, it looks like he's going to control nice. Almost, I just hope he controls like how he controlled in like Mania. You know, because I feel like Sonic's controls in Mania is like the perfect classic Sonic controls, right? So I just hope they just took how Sonic moved in Mania and they just implemented it into this game. I hope he's not like, his jumps aren't floaty like his jumps in Forces. I hope he could build up momentum and speed like, you know, in the classic games instead of like the Generation game or the Forces game, where like classic Sonic didn't really have a lot of momentum and, you know, he just fell off. It didn't feel right to play as classic Sonic in those modern Sonic games. But I just hope in this game it's just Mania but with modern graphics. And obviously, as you can see through this gameplay trailer, we're getting new zones. Like here, what we're looking at is like a jungle zone. So this is like a brand new zone. We've never seen this zone before. And at the beginning of the trailer, it doesn't look like we're in Green Hill. It looks like, you know, it's another variation that looks a lot like Green Hill but isn't exactly Green Hill. Like, you know how we have, you know, the Palm Tree Panics, or like, you know, the Splash Hills. Like, they're almost like Green Hill. They're like a little bit different. It's not exactly Green Hill, but, you know, it's inspired off of Green Hill. This zone here looks inspired off of Green Hill. It's not exactly Green Hill, but it looks a lot like it. But I can still appreciate it. At least it's not Green Hill, because I'm so tired of seeing Green Hill in modern Sonic games. I hate it. And obviously in this section, not only do we see a jungle, you know, zone, which is a new zone, but we see that classic Sonic is rail grinding, or at least it looks like he's rail grinding based on the animation here and based on just how he's going through the loop and stuff. It looks like he's rail grinding on the vines. So we got rail grinding in a 2D game. That's pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be as complex as in the modern games, because obviously you're in a 2D game. You're not going to be able to go like left and right? So it's not going to be as complex, but it still looks cool, right? It's still going to be cool to, like, you're running around and then you jump on a rail, you jump and then you just your rail grind through the stage. I think that's still going to be really, really cool. It looks like he's going to have a lot of speed going on the rails, which, it feels good to go fast in the Sonic game. Like, oh man, who would have guessed? It feels good to go fast in the Sonic game, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? So rail grinding in a 2D game, it's new, and I'm excited for it. And then right here, we have Sonic running through what looks like some sort of pixel world or dimension or something like that. Once again, brand new area. We've never seen really anything like this in any classic Sonic game or just Sonic game in general. Like, we've never seen this type of, environment. We've never seen this area before. So this is, again, a brand new area that Sonic is exploring. Once again, I want to point out how good Sonic's model looks. Like, even while in gameplay, it looks so good. Again, it's not the same model from, like, the model in Generations or Forces. This is a brand new model specifically made for this game. It just looks so good. Even when he's, like, running. Like his running animation looks so good. It looks so smooth. Like, it's perfect. But anyway, right, going back to the zone. He's in a brand new zone. The colors, once again, they look so good. The visuals in this game, they're so vibrant. They're so colorful, so saturated. The whole world, right? Sonic's environment just feels so alive, and I love that. I love that for this game. And there are also multiple playable characters in this game. You've got Sonic, you've got Tails, you've got Knuckles, but you've also got Amy. So we've got 4 playable characters in this game. We don't know if there's any more. I don't know if there's like an unlockable character that we're going to be able to get in the game. As far as we know, there's not going to be any DLC for this game. There might be DLC in the future for this game, but for now we don't really know. But base game, 4 main characters: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy. It's the gang. It's the gang. At this point, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy are like the primary gang, right? Like in Sonic Frontiers, that was the gang. You had Sonic, Amy, Knuckles, and Tails on the Starfall Islands, in Sonic Frontiers. And in this game, you got the same 4 characters. So it really just looks like Sega is like pushing like, okay, these are like the 4 main characters of the series: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, which I'm okay with. 4 playable characters in this game, I'm really fine with that, but it doesn't look like we're going to have multiplayer on this game, like at least not online multiplayer. You can still do couch co-op in this game, but it doesn't look like we're going to get online multiplayer co-op for this game, which, that sucks. I kind of hate when games do that, where it's like, okay, yeah, it's multiplayer, but you can't play online, you can only play couch co-op, because it's like, it's 2023, like, we're at that point where your game just, like, it has to have multiplayer, it doesn't have to have multiplayer, but it's like, it's almost like it's like a given at this point. People have friends and family like across the world, and like it's just a hassle to have like people come over to your place to play a game on the same screen, all in the same, small area. Like, it's so much more convenient where it's like, okay, everybody, let's all get on Sonic Superstars and let's play co-op. And like, that's so much more efficient, and that's so much more easier in general. So once again, it's a shame it doesn't have online multiplayer, but it's not a deal breaker. It doesn't have anything to do with the game. It's just like a feature that I wish was in the game. But let's move on. And then you have this particular part here where Sonic and his friends turn into pixelated squids, and they swim through like an underwater area of the game. Now, this is new. We've never really had a Sonic game, or at least a classic Sonic game, like a 2D Sonic game, where Sonic can turn into different things, right? We've always had those like forms in Sonic where like you have base Sonic, Super Sonic, and then Hypersonic. Those are like the forms you could turn into in those games, but we've never really had a game where it's like you could turn into like different just animals in general, like a jellyfish. So this is new, and I'm ready to give it a shot when the game comes out. I'm not going to say whether it's a cool idea or a bad idea. I do think it's cool. It's definitely unique, but I just hope it works well in the actual game. I hope it, doesn't feel like a total deviation from the actual gameplay in the game. I hope there's not like entire levels where you're squids. I just hope it's a gimmick that improves the gameplay and the replayability instead of something that like drags it in the mud, And then after that section with the squids, we have a kind of little clip here where Sonic like turns into like an ice form of himself, and he runs on a wall. Like, so the game shifts from like, regular, 2D gameplay to Sonic running on the walls, which is very, very cool. I like the fact that, this game doesn't just stay 2D the entire time. I like the fact that they, you know, manipulate the depths of the game and stuff like that. I like how you can go into the background. I like how you could use the environment to their advantage, and they design the levels based on their environment. So it's cool that, like, okay, this game isn't just like a left and right thing, you know. They implement the environment and the atmosphere in a way that improves the gameplay and keeps it from, you know, getting stale and stuff like that, which I really, really appreciate. And then after that, Sonic jumps into a waterfall, and then he climbs up the waterfall, and that is really, really cool. I'm actually really excited for, like, this whole power-up system that they got going in this game, because that means, especially like that part where, like, Sonic swims up the waterfall and, like, goes above the stage, that means there's going to be multiple ways to play through the stage depending on what power-ups you get. Like, if you get no power-ups, you obviously get, like, the normal path. If you get, like, the water power-up, you could, like, go up waterfalls and, like, find secrets and stuff like that. If you get, like, I don't know, maybe there's a fire power-up in the game, and you could, like, burn down specific areas of the stage to find, like, secret areas that you could, like, run through, get, like, extra rings or lives or stuff like that. There's so many possibilities with this upgrade system when it comes to, like, you know, exploration and just replayability in general. So I'm really, really glad that they're introducing this, you know, power-up system. I just hope that they utilize it well in the game, you know. I hope they don't just, like, introduce a power-up and then it's like a one-time gimmick for one level, you know. I hope they introduce a power-up and then that power-up keeps appearing throughout the game and it's actually useful throughout the game. And then we have this little snippet here where Sonic is in a 3D play area. It looks like the player is controlling Sonic in a 3D environment, and they're going after some glowy thing in the distance there. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this is a special stage, and that glowy thing that Sonic is chasing is, maybe it's the yellow Chaos Emerald, you know? We don't get to see this part of the game for very long because it quickly cuts to, you know, another section. But for the couple of sections that we did get to see it, it looks like a very, very cool thing. I'm not gonna say it's a special stage yet. I think it's a special stage. If it is a special stage, it looks really cool and it looks very unique. We've never really had this type of special stage here where, like, you go from, like, a 2D game to, like, 3D. I guess you did have, like, that kind of special stage thing when you were in Sonic 2 and with the half pipe, and Sonic 3 with the blue balls, but this just looks like, this looks completely different. It looks like in this section you have, like, free will. You're not limited to, like, a half pipe. You're not limited to just going, like, left and right strictly. It looks like the game just plops you in and you, like, swing on these blue little orbs to collect rings and avoid, you know, bombs. And it looks like these, like, red spiky balls are, like, stuff you have to avoid, because if you hit them, you lose your rings and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a special stage we're looking at here, where it's like the Chaos Emerald is, like, over there, and you've got to swing like fucking Spider-Man to get to the Chaos Emerald, and you got to collect rings so you don't run out of rings, but you also got to avoid the bombs, because if you hit the bombs, then you're going to lose rings. So I think it's a very, very unique idea for a special stage. Thankfully, they didn't reuse the half pipe. They didn't reuse, you know, the Sonic 1 special stage that is, like, on drugs. You know, it's a unique special stage, and I love it for that. I think I'm really gonna like this special stage, assuming it's the special stage in the actual game when it releases. And then what's pretty interesting is that right after that little snippet there that looks like a special stage, we actually see the Sonic 1 special stage make a return. So that kind of complicates things a little bit, but I think there's a reasonable, you know, explanation to this, right? So what's probably going to happen, what I think is going to happen, is that the special stage that we saw on the last clip is the actual special stage to, you know, get the Chaos Emeralds and stuff like that. And the Sonic 1 stage here, the Sonic 1 special stage, is something that you could do after you hit a checkpoint. So, like, after you hit a checkpoint, the glow will pop up at the top of the checkpoint, and you could jump in, and you could do this, like, little mini game thing in the middle of your level to, you know, take a break from, you know, the normal base game, and you could do a Sonic 1 special stage mini game and have some fun in there. At least as much fun as you can have playing a Sonic 1 special stage. But I think that's, like, a reasonable thing to say. Like, the last snippet, the last clip that we saw is the actual special stage, and then this Sonic 1 special stage is, like, a special stage that you could play when you jump into a checkpoint. You don't particularly play it for a Chaos Emerald, you just play it to, you know, get some extra rings, you know, increase your score, and just in general have some fun. And also, in this little snippet, in this little section, it looks like 4 players can simultaneously play the Sonic 1 special stage at the same time. The Sonic 1 special stage by itself is already, like, so hard to play through and so hard to navigate. trying to get through it with 4 players seems like an impossible task. I don't know if they made it so that it's easy to get through the special stages this time, or they made it comfortable for 4 players to play it at the same time, but I just I don't know what to say. I hope it controls well, and I hope it feels good when playing through it with 4 players, but I can't say I have high hopes. And then at the end of the trailer here, it looks like we get a glimpse at some of the boss fights that are going to be in the game. So it looks like one of the bosses that we're going to see in the jungle section of this game is some sort of purple beetle that has the power of like lightning or something, or like lightning blue orbs. And, you know, it looks cool. I mean, it's kind of unique. We've never really seen a boss fight kind of like this. Maybe we have, maybe I just don't remember. But it looks like a cool boss fight. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 2D classic Sonic game, and they can only get super creative in like that 2D space. I'm not saying, right, that they can't get creative at all and they have to do generic boss fights all the time, but it doesn't look too crazy, right? It just looks like a normal, you know, boss fight that you would see in really any 2D platform, and it's nothing crazy. It's not bad per se. It's average. And then the final clip that we actually see here, it looks like the Death Egg robot makes a return. Now, it doesn't really look the exact same from the Death Egg robot that we already know, like the Death Egg robot from Sonic 2 or Sonic Generations. It looks a little bit different, but it's the Death Egg robot, right? And at the last clip here, like the last thing we see is the Death Egg robot looks like it's attacking Sonic and Amy, and Sonic uses a power-up, and he spawns a bunch of Sonics. He just spawns a load, like a wave of Sonics, and they all just run at Eggman, and it looks like Eggman takes damage because of it, and it looks super cool. I'm not sure how you get this power-up. I'm not sure how it activates. Maybe there's like something that you can get in the stage where you can like hold it, and then when you want to use it, you like press a certain button, like maybe right trigger, and then it triggers all the Sonics to come in waves. But it does look really cool, and I'm genuinely curious on how that power-up works, and how other power-ups will work in the game as well, because I'm certain there's other power-ups in the game that we didn't see in this trailer. So I'm really, really excited to see, you know, what they have cooking up. And then finally, the last little clip that we see is Fang. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really know a lot about Fang. I really don't know his origins. I know he was in Sonic Mania, but I don't really know a lot about him. I just know that his name is Fang, and he's from some of the older Sonic games. So I can't really be super hyped seeing him come into the frame. It's just cool to me, you know, like, oh, that's cool. This guy that people seem to love is also in this game. That, you know, that's pretty cool. So I can't really get super hyped for him, but it's cool to know that he's also in this game. Also, I don't really get to talk about this while I'm analyzing the trailer because it's just not something that's super apparent, but the music for the game. Now, we don't know who's composing the music for the game. The music for the trailer, at least, sounds really good. I was really vibing to the music in the trailer. I think it sounds really, really good. I hope T-Lopes is on this track, because T-Lopes did the Sonic Mania track, and the Sonic Mania soundtrack is just superb. It's like a 10 out of 10. There's no bad track in that soundtrack. Just everything is just such a vibe, you know? So I really hope for this game they brought T-Lopes back. The music that they used for the trailer, I'm not sure if that's in the game. I'm not sure if that was just music for the marketing, but it sounds really, really good, and I hope we have more music like that from the trailer in the actual game. And some other news that we got that isn't necessarily in the trailer, but we got from other sources, is that this game is going to be priced at $60. It's basically a full-priced game. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That means, if this game is priced at $60, that means that Sega, 1, has faith in this game. They think this game will do well, and they think fans will like this game. And 2, this isn't like a budget thing. This isn't a title that they're like, okay, yeah, we can make it, but like we don't really care about it, right? Like, this means that like, okay, like they really cared about this project and they wanted to do well and they wanted to, you know, make money, you know? So they priced it at $60. That just tells me that they have faith in this game. They think this game is good. They think the fans will be pleased with this game, and they put just genuinely effort into this game, and they put money into this game. So I'm okay with the fact that it was $60. I thought when I was watching the trailer that it was going to be $40, but $60 is fine. Full priced 2D Sonic game, I'm okay with that. I'll buy it. I'll play it, and I'm sure I'm gonna have a great time with it. And anyone who says they're not gonna buy this game just because it's like a 2D Sonic game for $60, like, oh, like, it's only a 2D Sonic game for $60, like, why is it so expensive? It's just a 2D Sonic game. I just feel like those people just, they're not giving it a chance. You know, like, we literally saw 1 minute and 30 seconds of footage, right? This game obviously isn't like the previous classic Sonic games. You know, you have power-ups in this game. The art style is amazing in this game. Like, it looks like this game is trying to be different from any other classic Sonic game that we've seen before. So I think that this game priced at $60, it's a good thing. At the end of the day, it's a good thing. Yeah, boo-hoo, we have to, you know, spend more money. More money has to come out of our pocket to buy this game and to play it. But at the end of the day, for the long term at least, I think it is worth it, because that means Sega is actually putting effort into this game and they actually care about this game. But anyway, guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I've pretty much covered almost everything regarding this game. Once again, I don't know if it's called Sonic Superstars or Sonic Orion. I'm gonna guess it's called Sonic Superstars because that's what it shows in the trailer. And I think Orion is just like the beta title. Like, that's just the title they had for the game while they were, you know, developing it. I think the official one is Sonic Superstars, so I'm just going to go by that. So Sonic Superstars, super excited for the game coming out this fall. We're already so close to the release date already. It's only like a couple months away, a few months away. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all later. I am out.